What?
This bomber. You remember that bomber?
In Milwaukee.
Milwaukee?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I've been in that service station.
Yes, so we are restoring it now. Oh, see, look. And we're at Salem Airport.
At what airport?
The Salem Airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a member of that,
Can you come closer?
the antique aircraft down in Texas.
Oh, really? Huh.
I get a publication from them every so often, and a request for donation. So.
Well, of course, right? Can I take this?
Yeah.
We can't hit me with it.
I never worked on a B-17, but I was around them a lot.
What's your name?
What?
What's your name? Is this you?
No.
No. Okay, who are you?
I'm in this here.
You're this guy?
My eyesight's very poor.
Oh,
but
Ellis, right there.
yeah. And is that my name there? Yeah. I furnished a lot of the pictures for this. Yeah, it's my name right there.
This is Ellis
Ellis.
Hallman. Okay.
And that's the beach we landed on in Iashima. I gave that to Frank. He didn't have that picture.
I'm gonna close that door real quick.
And there was a ship that was hit by the kamikaze. There's a kamikaze here. And it's a suicide bomber.
Did you see any of those?
Huh?
Did you see any kamikazes? Did you see a kamikaze?
What?
Did you see one?
Oh, yeah. And this is one that the guy, I guess he didn't want to die. He landed on the beach.
Oh.
And that's how come they got that one.
So, I need your signature real quick, okay? Can you sign that right there?
This is not
Yeah.
mine. I can't see very well.
It's okay. That's so I can film you. Okay? There, perfect. Today the 18th? 13th.
13th.
Okay. All right. So, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Okay? If you will, can you answer that question right there? What is your most memorable moment? This one.
Where are you talking about it? Overseas or what?
In the military. In World War II. What were you doing in World War II?
Yeah. Probably my most memorable one was when they made the longest fighter mission in World War II. We got a presidential citation for it. They flew from Iashima to Korea and returned nonstop. And those P-47s, they cruised at 160 miles an hour, and they burned 90 gallons of gasoline an hour at cruise. And so there was a lot of gasoline. They had wing tanks on it and a belly tank that they dropped, and then there was a auxiliary tank of 100 gallons, and then there was two wing butt gas tanks of 90 gallons each, and then there was the main tank, which was 240 gallons. And when they took off, they weighed like 20,000 pounds. The empty weight on them was 7,000. So they really were heavy, but they made it nonstop, and I took a picture of him, but my daughter's got that picture as he got out of the airplane, the pilot. David Edmonds was his name. He was from Salt Lake City. And he was wringing wet from there down to his waist, and in that hot cockpit, and he then he goes from there to he don't talk to anybody and say anything about it until after he's talked to the he made a report on his mission, and I think he shot down 2 aircraft on that mission. So that's probably the most memorable time I was. I was the crew chief on the P-47 122. And if you see that picture, that's the last ace that was made during the war. It was in our outfit. He shot down 5 aircraft on that mission.
Tell me about, can you tell me about being a crew chief?
What about it?
Well, tell me your job. What was your job?
I performed the first echelon maintenance, and any discrepancy that the pilot would write up in the logbook, I had to take care of it. If it was some major thing, then I would send it to second echelon. But my aircraft never had any serious problems with it, and I was to see that it was refueled and see that the oil was up to the level, the reservoir, and that there was water in the water injection for war emergency power, and see that everything, tires were up and everything was ready to go. And then they get us up at 3:30 in the morning, and we had breakfast, and they take us out to the line, and by that time, by the flight line, and by that time it was just breaking daylight, and I would pre-flight the aircraft, start the engine, and check to see that the mags were working properly, and that the propeller would cycle, and then I would run it up to 2,000 RPM and to do all these things, and then we used to call them airplane drivers. They come out, the pilots would come out in the jeeps, and they'd get in the aircraft and start it up, and would go to take off. We a lot of times rode the wing out there, so because they couldn't see with the airplane sitting like that. They couldn't see out in front. They had to look one way or the other, and then we'd ride the wing out there to see that they didn't run into anything. And we didn't have much to do while they were gone. They were gone for about 4 hours. And well, there's lots of memorable things I had. Here's a Japanese envoy landed there. That's the Japanese Betty. They were painted white and they had a green cross on them. And this is the envoy. And I'm in this group of people over here. I can't take myself out. But and there's the 2 atomic bombs. This was the Nagasaki bomb. the big one there. And that flight to Korea was August. What is it?
That one says Dumbo. This one's bombing, strafing, fighter sweep, Dumbo, and then search mission. They're all three for Korea.
Huh?
Those are all three.
Well, the first one is the one that he made that flight on.
It's August 13th, 1945.
Yeah. And this is the missions that we flew, that the aircraft flew. And here's a picture of, when I've seen this picture, I've seen it before, but I couldn't read that. But when I seen the original, that 122 was the airplane that I was responsible for the maintenance on. And this is a composite picture, and I donated a copy of it to the Veterans Home here. But Robert St. Vincent, the one that painted this, and the story behind this painting is John Kelly was the flight reader of this, and my airplane was flying at the time, but he painted this picture, and with the atomic bomb in the background, and they seen the flash of the atomic bomb. They were about 20 miles from it there when this went off, and they felt the shock wave of it, and the story behind this thing is John Kelly, when he lived down in Scottsdale, Arizona, and he had made a name for himself in the civilian world here. He went to work for General Motors, and he was in charge. He retired as sales manager for the GMC heavy-duty trucks for the United States, and he retired and went to and lived in Scottsdale, and he seen this, got in touch with this artist, and he said he wanted this composite picture painted, and so when Robert St. Vincent got it done, he took it over to him, and Kelly says, "Well, that looks good. How much do you want for it?" And he says, $1,500. He said, "Oh, I ain't gonna pay no $1,500 for that." So St. Vincent took it back. And another friend of mine, Dave Pearson, who lived in Torrance, Los Angeles, went to this, Robert St. Vincent died. And at his, the sale of these things, this picture was there, and my friend Dave Pearson bought it for $200.
There you go.
And then I went down to visit him one time, and I seen this picture hanging in his office, and that's when I noticed that was 122, because this is a 22 by 24 painting. And I said, "Dave, I got to have a copy of that." So he sent me a copy, and
nice.
you've got it hanging on the wall down here.
Good.
And so that's the story behind why this picture was painted. And this picture here was on the front page of the Chicago Tribune, and we couldn't tell in writing letters where we were, but one of the women's fellows wives sent him a picture of this, and he says, "Is this where you're at?" And so I guess they found out where we were at. But
And those are P-47s?
that's the P-47. And the fellow that wrote this book here, he and his wife Nancy, that 123 there, you can see, I can't see it, but
Oh, I see that number right there, right?
yeah.
Okay.
See, the armors were putting ammunition in the ammunition chutes on the machine guns. There was 8 machine guns on there, 850 caliber machine gun. And boy, he said, I have never seen that picture. And when I got back from the, I wrote to the Chicago Tribune and asked for this picture, and they sent me the original. Now, I don't have the original, but this is a copy of it in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a picture of me with Edmonds that flew the 9-hour flight. And these are just more of the pilots. And I sent him some of these pictures and that he put in here.
Nice.
And that's a ship that we came back from after the war. This was a ship right here.
That's what you came home on?
Yeah, we came home on that.
Home March 1946.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't have enough points to get home until then he took turns. And
Are these men down here? What is that? Those are men here. They're just loaded with men.
yeah, it was just a troop ship. They used it was some ship that used for a troop ship. And this is some of the Japanese money here. And Ernie Pyle was killed over there, and I got a picture of his grave. And
I've heard of Ernie Pyle.
huh?
Ernie Pyle.
Ernie Pyle, yeah.
Famous name.
He was a correspondent and was killed over there on Aishima, where I was. And that island was only 3 by 9, and at the time the war was over, there were 39,000 of us on that island.
Oh my.
We were the staging area for the invasion of Japan. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. I learned that after the war was over. But we were just scheduled for D+6. The Marines would go in and take a beachhead, and then the Corps engineers would come in and build us a runway, and in 6 days the aircraft would be up there. And I thank God for the atomic bomb, because I don't think I'd be here today.
Put an end to it, huh?
Huh?
It put an end to it.
Yeah. That put an end to it. I thank God for that atomic bomb. And these are some of my friends that I worked with. And but anyway, you have these. I donated this book. I mean, a copy of it, and this book here to the veterans home here.
Mm-hmm.
And people find it such good, interesting reading that they take them home with them, and it got lost. So I guess they're going to try and get. It costs $85 a copy, and I
Wow.
guess they're going to get some more copies for the place here. That's a picture of me.
Huh. So what's this book? We'll have to look at that again too. So that's
What's that?
What book is that? What's the name of that book?
507.
507th. Okay.
507th Fighter Group. Now this book is in the Congressional Library too. Now there's
Whoop. His picture, and that was on like page 1. Trying to take notes so we can take pictures later.
What's that?
Oh, he's gonna take a picture of you when we're done.
That's a picture of me, and I was 17 years old, and I had a Model A when I was in high school. I was in 1942 when I graduated from high school. And when I was in the service, that was the chaplain, and he married I and my first wife in town in Texas. But page 200, what is that?
That's 126. Oh, here's 200.
Well, here's
oh, it's a whole write-up on you.
Yeah. And what is this here?
It says Ellis had a great visit with Fred Phillips at the Phillips Ranch in Oregon.
Yeah, he lived in Baker City, and he's the largest. He has a cattle ranch over there, 80,000 acres. He's the largest taxpayer in Baker County. He was one of the pilots. I didn't know it at the time, but I got acquainted with him, and I took this picture and I sent it to Frank that wrote the book here, and he published it in there. And that's a picture of me and my lady friend. We won first place in the Strawberry Festival with the Model A I've got now.
And 2008.
Yeah. And what this is another one of the poop of the group, isn't it? Or what is it? I can't.
Doolittle Raiders.
Huh?
Doolittle Raiders. The poop of the group, though. The poop of the group.
Okay. That's what they do.
That's great.
Poop of the group. And Frank died. He used to call me about once or twice a month. Since we got acquainted, I didn't know him during the war. We didn't fraternize with the officers as enlisted men, but I got acquainted with him afterwards, and he got to be a very good friend of mine. But he died here about 6 weeks ago. And but you can call Nancy if you want to take that telephone number.
Okay, let me see.
And her email address. That's a picture of my lady friend. And back in 1958, I had a body shop and I had a tow truck. And I was instrumental I was involved in this Thompson submachine gun for the sheriff's department confiscated that.
Oh.
And I gave them the story of how it all come about. I can tell it to you, but I don't want to know whether you want to take that time or not.
I want to hear about your World War II stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see what else I got. How did you become a crew chief? Why were you a crew chief? What happened?
Why was I a crew chief?
Mm-hmm.
I had joined the, I enlisted in the Air Force, and that was U.S. Army Air Force at that time. It wasn't a separate entity like it is now. And at the time I went in, they had a surplus of pilots. And they washed out 90% of us, and I was one of them that washed out, and that's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. But I was real disappointed at the time. But then, because of my aircraft experience, I had been to the Lincoln Aeronautical Institute before I went into the service, and learned about aircraft maintenance, and so they made me a crew chief in Bruning, Nebraska. And then they moved down to Dalhart, Texas, and they issued us the latest model of the P-47, the P-47N, which was had a little bit more wingspan and had the two 90-gallon wing butt tanks, and that's where they then they went overseas, and that's where I got married just before I went overseas. And that picture of that chaplain is in the book here. And I and my wife lived there in their apartment. They had a 2-bedroom apartment, and they rented this one apartment to me and to us, and that was about a month before we went overseas. And we went to Seattle, shipped out of Seattle, and we're 30 days moving over to Aishima, and we stopped by Pearl Harbor and Eniwetok and Guam. We didn't know for sure. We didn't know where we were going. They didn't tell us anything.
Mm.
So,
Secrets.
Yes, sir. No, sir. No excuse, sir. That's what.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Huh? No excuse,
Yes,
sir.
No, sir. And no excuse, sir.
That's
That was the theme of things.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't ask questions because they wouldn't tell us anything anyway. So.
Do you think that influenced us being do you think that influenced our victory?
Say that again, please.
Do you think their secrecy influenced our victory? Do you think that influenced us winning the war?
Probably had a lot to do with it. Oh yeah, I mean, sort of militarily, I think they did right.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't let us know what we were going to do, and somehow or other they kept us so busy we didn't have time to think about what we were going to be doing the next day. We just did our job.
Right. And well.
And yeah, I think I look back on it, I think I was probably one of the best crew chiefs because I had my aircraft experience, and before I got in there, and my aircraft never failed to be ready to go. Some of the aircraft and they had be held up because of something or other. And I remember one time that my aircraft shot down 5 enemy aircraft, in that 30 days that we were there. I mean, in the war zone. but it never. I always had it ready to go, and I look back on it, and I think I was probably as good a mechanic there as any of them.
Good. I think the crew chiefs were very important, and the men relied on you for their life.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's true. I look back on it. I remember one time there'd be 3 of us aircrafts in each revetment, so that they were dispersed in case they had a bombing. Why they didn't wipe out the whole squadron.
Mm-hmm.
And I had finished pre-flighting my aircraft, and the P-47 next to me was still trying to crank and get it started.
Mm-hmm.
And all at once it backfired, and there was flames, and there was a 500-pound bomb hanging on the belly, and this gasoline was coming down the belly of the aircraft and dripping off in that bomb. And the bombs had already been armed, but I never thought today I would be running that way as fast as I could go, but I grabbed a fire extinguisher, went over there, and we got the fire out.
Good.
But I look back on it, boy, why did I do it? You do things like that, you don't know.
It's an emergency.
You're just doing your thing.
Yeah. That was a good story.
And these, I remember one time my aircraft had left, and these revetments, they took a bulldozer and they dozed out a section, and I don't know where that picture is of that. But then they filled that with coral, and they parked 3 airplanes in each one of them. And after one morning, after my airplane had left, I got to walking out in there, and I seen a boot there, and I went over to pick it up, and I see there's still a foot in it. What had probably happened, the Japanese had made a shallow grave, and when the bulldozer come along, it bulldozed across top of them, and his foot happened to be hanging up there. And
the things you see.
But that kind of gives you a shocker,
Oh yeah.
No, I look back on it, and I was lucky, and we were lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have no regrets of my time in service, really.
Good.
I enjoyed most of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a new experience, and we didn't fear anything. I don't know why it didn't.
I don't think did you tell me where you were stationed? Where were you?
We were in Aishima. Well, let's see. There's a picture of the island in here somewhere. That's a picture of Bruning, Nebraska, where I first got involved in the P-47. And Major Street, with that load on there, they went into war emergency power to get the airplane to fly. And this there was a representative from Republic Aircraft there, and he says, you don't have to hit go into emergency power to take off with that load. He says, you get load one up for me and I'll show you how to do this. And he got about halfway down the runway and you could hear him go into war emergency power, and he never made it off the end of the runway. He went off the end of the runway but never got flying, and it killed him.
Oh, that happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. Boy, where is that picture of...
This is a really good book, by the way. It's got a lot of information in it.
Yeah, now, this book I donated here, Jeffrey, the man in charge of the maintenance, he had both of those books. Yeah, and I had their name put in here, and I put it in there, donated to them. And he took them home because he's not supposed to read and do stuff like that here, so...
You'll have to bring it back.
And he had it for about a month, and I asked him, did you ever bring those back? And he says, no, I can't find them.
Oops.
So they're trying to get some new ones.
Okay, I got one more question for you. So, we are going to restore this plane to fly. So this plane is being restored.
Uh-huh.
And we're building a World War II museum.
Oh,
Okay?
you are.
Yes. So why do you think that's important?
Why do I think it's important?
Why do we need to fly this plane in honor of a great generation? Why do we need to fly this plane in honor of World War II?
Why do you need to? Well, the B-17 had a lot to do with us winning the war. And half of those first B-17s that went over to England, half of them got shot down with their crews. And I think the B-17 was one of the most important aircraft that we had. But then they were replaced by the B-24s because B-24 was a little bigger, a little more efficient. And but B-17, I think, is very important. I'd be willing to spend giving a donation toward that.
Well, you're very sweet. I'm not asking for that, but I love your words. That was really good to hear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be willing to give you some money. And I've been fortunate. I went into business and myself, and I saved a little money, and in the meantime I worked out. The reason I came here to Lebanon is to work at the airport in 1950. But I couldn't make enough money to support my family like I wanted to, but I stayed involved with it. I went into business in the body and fender shop, and I learned that business very well, and then I had an opportunity to represent a company that built equipment for body shops, and I was very successful at doing that. I sold it evolved into the heavy-duty equipment, and I sold TriMet in Portland and Metro Seattle and Los Angeles Transit, and at that time they were the largest transit company in the world. I think they were maintaining 5,000 buses, and I sold San Diego, Oceanside, Honolulu, Anchorage, Alaska, and all the Bay Area, and Minneapolis light rail.
You supported all that? You supplied all that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had
That's a big deal.
I had an Airstream trailer, and I was on the road most of the time. And I sold equipment up in British Columbia, and Denver, Spokane, and Boise, Idaho. I'm from Idaho originally. I'm from Payette, Idaho.
I have family in Idaho.
Huh?
I have family in Idaho.
Do you?
Yes, I do. In Boise.
In Boise. I was from Payette.
Right there. So that's interesting. I wanted to recap that a little bit. Greatest generation. Came home, went to work, became successful.
Yeah.
Did what you had to do when you were told what to do. You know, that's what makes you a great generation.
Oh.
I think so.
And I'm still here.
And you're still here. Oh, great. Can we get some pictures of your pictures?
Huh?
We want to get some pictures of your pictures. That's what Dave's job's going to be. There's some good stuff in here and in here. I wrote down the page numbers so we could make it easier. You want to do it that way? Okay. So
I wanted to have you find a picture
You
of
might just have to do it.
Ishima. I don't know whether it's in one of these.
I loved what he said about the B-17s.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
There,
Wow.
That's Ishima. It was 9 miles long and 3 miles wide. And we were in that.
So I just put that together in my brain. He was there on that island. Wow.
And there's a mountain down that end there, down there, isn't there? Well.
Did you see the flag go up?
Huh?
Did you see the flag go up?
No.
No?
See the what?
The flag. The Hiroshima flag. Did you see the Hiroshima flag go up?
No.
No.
That was on. That was on.
Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima. Okay.
Iwo Jima.
Yeah,
This is
okay.
Aishima.
Aishima. Okay.
Now this is Okinawa in the background here.
Okay. You wanted to get a picture of that while he's got it? I think you're going to just have to come over here.
Yeah, we don't need sun on it.
Like that?
Yeah, just hold it, get the cap off so I can.
Was I still enough? I'm trying really
Yeah,
hard.
you were still enough. It's just I'm trying to get a.
Okay, so there was some more pictures in here. I wrote down, well, I think right here in the beginning, wasn't there? I wrote down 36. Oh, wrong way. So these ones, right? What was here? Did you say something on these pages?
This is the Japanese envoy.
Okay.
When they landed, they landed at Aishima, and then they put them on the C-54 and flew them down to the Philippines, where they signed the armistice on the Missouri, isn't it?
If that was a white plane with a green cross, was that similar to their Red Cross? In other words,
You gotta talk louder.
What?
Is that a Red Cross plane?
No, it was a green cross.
okay, but was that their medical plane for the Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
Oh,
find out.
gotcha. You need a place to set these down. How about right here? There's no shade. Yeah,
Medical
that's
airplane.
good right there.
What are you talking about?
Well, we have Red Cross. Was that Green Cross was the Japanese version?
Of the Red Cross. Huh?
Yes.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
Well, that's what I was asking, if that's what it was.
I don't know. Somebody in Service is designated that they paint those airplanes white with green crosses,
Uh-huh.
and there was some B-24 twin engine aircraft that went out and met them and guided them into the island.
Okay.
Here's, you say you got some relatives in Boise.
Uh-huh.
This is Senator McClure. I can't remember when I didn't know him. I went to Sunday school with him and all through
Oh, nice.
school. And we went back to visit him. It's his wife Louise and my wife Betty, and this is Capitol Building.
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful. That's an awesome picture.
yeah. And that's the Thompson submachine gun that I was involved with. That's the Model A, and that's my lady friend. And I guess you've seen the rest of them.
Hey, we're having a great time.
Peggy will be here in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, we're just taking the final photos of the stuff he showed us,
Okay.
and then he did great.
Did you bore them?
No,
You
he
did-
was
you-
awesome.
You did not bore them.
He
did
was
you?
awesome.
Oh.
No. He's got great stuff he showed me. It's just really.
No, and it was really cool because one of my questions is why should we restore this plane and build a World War II museum? And he had like the most amazing answer about the B-17s.
Good.
It was awesome.
I'm glad. I go to get maintenance. Did he come in and shut that down?
He did. Now we're roasting.
I noticed that. Not you are. I'm not.
So I had wrote. Did you get?
I'm just grabbing a few photos.
Yeah.
but
So
if you
I
want,
had marked page 87 too.
I was looking for some of the pages.
Okay.
Oh, I think right behind this one. Yeah, this is him right there.
I'm just kind of a cutaway guy, so that's my news training.
Your what?
My TV news training.
Is what?
Doing cutaways on long
Oh.
one-on-ones. It breaks it up.
Oh,
Lets you
yeah.
talk.
Yeah. Okay, so then, did you do page 47?
No.
Oh, that might have been it. Oh, that we talked about, the bombs.
Yeah, I want to donate $100 right now.
Oh, you are the sweetest.
And I'll probably give you more.
Oh, that's so sweet. I will give you a flyer that tells you a little more about us. And our address and everything is in there. That is very sweet. So, why did I say page 47 for? Oh, that's front page, black and white. Oh, it might be in the other book. Okay. Okay, those were all I wrote down in this book. Oh, let me look at the back page here. Okay, can I look at this book?
Yeah.
Okay, so a front shot of that book would be great.
Pay it.
And then he has a couple pictures in here right off the bat. There he is. I might get this little piece so he knows what it is. I love the poop of the group.
I wish I could.
You ever hear of that guy? Warren McCain?
Oh yeah, yeah. Why? Why do I know that name?
he became the CEO of Albertson Stores,
Oh.
and we used to play together as kids, and he was a junior when I graduated, a year behind me. We were good friends, and he came to my 30th graduation celebration, and I like to think that he came there to visit me, but of course he knew an awful lot of kids. But we spent quite a bit of time together, and I've got a picture of him and his wife, but my daughter's got it right now.
You said you had a picture your daughter had. I would be interested in too. What was that picture? Oh, page 1 and 5. You got that right. You had a picture. Your daughter has a picture. Where did I write that? Daughter has a picture of the long flight. Does your daughter have a picture of the long flight? The first story you told me about the P-47 flight. Does your daughter have a picture?
Yeah, I think she has a picture of that.
Okay.
Either that or my son. I told him to bring them back in because I wanted to write on the back of them what they were. So
yeah, you
when
should.
I pass on, why they know what.
That's a good idea. Is there anything else in there? I think that was pretty much it.
Well, where was that picture? I can't remember which one it was.
What picture you're looking for?
I don't know.
He was showing a picture. I don't know if it's in the other book or not.
Well, we got the picture of the here. I have that painting. I have that painting in my office.
What is it?
That picture, I have it hanging in my office. You see it? It's the B-17 in the streams. What do you call those things?
Airstream.
Airstreams.
Yeah, what? I can't see what the background, where it was. But we had B-17s there on Aoshima.
Aoshima.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think how to spell it. Okay, there was something else in here, but I can't remember what it was.
I think that's over on the island.
I think we might have got it all. This is a good book, though. Oh, was there one more where he was in it?
There's going to be one more poop of the group that Nancy Tothill, Frank's wife, is going to publish.
I think we got it all. Okay, there you go, sir.
Okay.
Did we give you back everything? Okay.
Did I get everything?
Did you got one of my cards for fun? That was your little gift. I wish I had more.
We had
I'm gonna give you a pin.
Turned off so we could videotape without the background noise.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can resolve this real quick here.
So look,
Okay.
it's a cool pin. Watch this.
What is that?
It's a pin with my name on it. I just think you should have it.
Okay.
It's a thank you pin.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see you at lunch.
Huh?
Maybe I'll see you at lunch.
Yeah, let's see. What time is it getting to be?
I don't know, but I bet it's getting close.
11:45.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are we gonna have another?
Yeah, she's waiting outside the door. Okay, thank you so much. Really
Yeah,
appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Talk